Hey guys, what's going on? Ultimus back with more challenge modes. This time we're running through Iron Dock. Same comp, same team. I guess I should have mentioned when I did the first video going through. I did the entire runs with the same team, so you're going to see the same composition here. Blood DK for a tank, Resto Druid for our healer. We got a hunter and the enhancement shaman. For the first bit of this, our Resto Druid is actually going Boomkin. He was really excited about this, actually. It was kind of funny. Sometimes just the extra damage is nice because blood DKs have so many absorbs and heals, and how we're tricking stuff around, moving stuff around, killing it, dying intentionally. It tends to work out. I started running after the tank. It was kind of funny. They're like, no, come back. So what they're doing is the tank's basically running out there, more or less, getting everything pulled as much as he can right here, kind of clearing everything up. And then, wait for it. Alright, now we're going in. So basically, we want to get all these mobs pulled up right here, and then we're just going in, popping cooldowns, popping everything, just cleaving everything down. I love how close our DK got to dying, and then just, nope. I died though, that's for sure. That was, I don't know what happened there. Probably just pulled way too much aggro, which I'm fine with. I mean, I feel like, again, I'm pulling my weight more or less here, doing enough deeps to where I was aggroing mobs. I don't know too much about blood DK, so I don't know how well they hold AoE aggro, especially after Gorfien's grasp has worn off. I'm not really sure how that all plays into everything, but it's alright. I'm not really too worried about me dying because I'm pulling the least amount of DPS, more or less, compared to that enhancement shaman and that hunter. There's no way I'm going to out DPS either of those in a PvE setting, so I'm not too worried about it. At this point, I think, if I remember correctly, they're telling me to just go ahead and release and run over here. That's because that's the nice thing about challenge modes, is that they operate under different rules than your standard 5-mans do, which is kind of cool, so you can, again, use those to your advantage and mess around with those a little bit. I wasn't really sure what was going on. Again, I'm trying to play it somewhat safe because I don't want to do anything dumb and screw the runs up, so I was just kind of waiting for direction there, more or less. Same instance here, except in this particular case, we're actually dying intentionally, if I remember correctly. Because what we were doing there is, at this point, we were looking to reset our debuff for the heroism. Again, that's just one kind of mechanic that you'll definitely see over and over again with these runs, is we're constantly intentionally dying to reset that debuff from heroism and the cooldown on it, so that we can basically use it whenever we want on bosses. Taking advantage of the fact that we have roughly 20 minutes, I believe is what the timer we're starting at. We're still sitting at 17 right now. Which gives us a lot to work with. This was definitely one of the instances I wasn't really worried about. The overall boss fights in here, from what I gathered from talking to people and kind of reading up on and watching videos on how to do these runs, Iron Docks didn't seem to be that challenging. We accidentally pulled that mob, and by we I mean the DK accidentally pulled that one. Sorry, I was blanking on what class it was. We weren't really supposed to pull them, but it'll work out, so we're just going to kill them. We were arguing over whether or not we should just pull the boss in and kill him now, but we're just going for it. So we're just killing these mobs, wiping them off real quick. But yeah, no, Iron Docks definitely seemed to be one of the easier ones out of all of the challenge modes, which was nice. I figured it would be not too difficult because I come in here all the time to try to solo the first boss for the tokens from the Dwarven Bunker, or if you're Horde, I suppose, the War Mill or whatever it's called. So soloing this, not a problem at all. And so luckily for the challenge modes, I didn't figure it would be much of a problem. Got my interrupts back on the bar, at least. We're just charging and going for it. Popping cooldowns, just going for it. Not really much to say about this boss fight, pretty straightforward. As you can see, Dreadfang is going down so quickly, our cleave damage is going to drop him. And now we're switching over to the boss here. Nice thing about having so much DPS, again, I can't say enough about our composition here for this run in particular in these groups. It's just, I really like the overall composition of the different classes we have, etc., etc. Between the DK being so friggin' tanky, the Hunter and Shaman DPS is great, because Hunters and Shamans both, I feel like, have great single target DPS as well as AoE DPS as well. Again, my only complaint is that I really don't take a whole lot of damage, which again is a good thing, so I'm not really generating a lot of rage. So I feel like I'm not doing as much as I could be, should be, but that's okay. gonna pull these mobs over here. We're gonna take advantage of those iron stars we have over there. Still sitting pretty at 15.5 minutes here. DK is booking it, trying to get over there as quick as he can. Took a little bit of damage there. And then basically we're gonna line him up, and I just missed that, and by just I mean not at all. I felt like I should have been out of the way for that one, but it didn't work out, so that's okay. Taking advantage of the bandages I have on me, so my druid doesn't have to heal me. I don't know, just force of habit, I guess. Old school mentality. If I have bandages, I'm going to use them. So what's going to happen now is we're going to send our DK over to pull a bunch of the mobs over with him, and then we're going to let these iron stars take care of them. So again, the less we have to kill and have to worry about wiping and taking longer on, the better, which is kind of cool. I'm thoroughly enjoying how bugged out that mob is. It's just like dragging on the floor. I missed the memo that we were supposed to die here, so we're all just dying to reset that cooldown. So there's that, because the nice thing about it is you're going to get the shaman, which is again the beautiful thing of having a shaman. He's going to pop his reincarn, and then he's going to res everybody else and get everybody up, so we don't have to run all the way back from the start. So we got that going for us, which is nice. Again, I feel like shamans are almost a given or an essential bit to your challenge mode runs. If you want to run, having a shaman is just so nice. Between the haste and you could bring a mage for the heroism buff, but then you don't get the reincarnation that you can kind of take advantage of. So I just feel like whether it's a resto shaman or an enhancement shaman, either way, I just feel like you're going to benefit a lot from having a shaman in the group. So having that there, maybe that's just my bias. I feel like as a warrior, I just love playing as with shamans, I should say, whether it's PvP or PvE. Our blood DK is over there finally getting those mobs over to us. He went way far over there because we're gonna drop a bunch of CC here to kind of slow him down so our DK can get over to us. He got knocked off his mount. We're gonna line him up over here, and then they're gonna send that iron star over. So if this is something you're interested in for your challenge mode run, definitely take note of that. Something you might want to take advantage of if you've got the comp for it, and you can take advantage of, of course, that shaman, and then just lining up those kills for that. So you don't have to worry about killing all those enemies. As you can see, we've got already all of our 44 enemies killed for this. So all we have to worry about now is really bosses, which is quite nice. Not having to worry about getting that last kill at the end there. There's those bugged out mobs again, dragging themselves on the floor. But yeah, there's been a couple. They were exchanging some stories of some of the runs that they have done, and I've seen it before going on, and I've heard of people who they get to the end of the challenge mode, they beat the boss, and then they need like one more enemy to finish the run, and they don't have enough time to run back and kill the mob, so they basically failed the challenge mode, didn't get gold because they didn't kill one mob, and stuff like that. It was like, you don't want to be in that position. That would just definitely suck. In this particular fight, moving on to the boss fights and talking about mechanics. I was asking what I should be sitting on and attacking, and I know there's kind of a specific kill order in the heroics, but at this point we're just kind of cleaving them all down. So I start off on the big dude, just charge in, get some deeps up there, pop on a couple defensives there just to kind of keep myself alive. Nice thing about them all standing right there is the multi-strike and the cleave damage is popping up real nice. Swapping over, take advantage of this, trying to get that execute off. Didn't quite get it, but that's okay. Taking advantage of the fact that execute's hit like a truck and trying to pick off those low targets. Swapping over to the medium, or I guess I should say the smaller dude here, off the big guy. Not even really worried about mechanics, which is kind of nice, and I died there at the last second, but again, not entirely too worried about it. I like that we're kind of just blasting everything down, because it's basically one big DPS race. You're saving your time, you're making up for that time when you're waiting for other stuff to go on, just in the fights, not even really worrying about mechanics all that much. Waiting for that res here, not releasing, because again, releasing would be a problem, or so I thought. I didn't realize that at the time, if you release it right there and you die, it drops you up here, which is kind of cool. Again, it's nice thing about challenge modes is they drop you in right there, because I don't think that heroics or normals do that. I think heroics or normals start you at the beginning there, so taking advantage of that and knowing where those spawn points are quite nice. I got caught with that stun, which was unfortunate, but we're just charging through, trying to get to the very end here, not even messing with all these mobs. Which again is nice, because again, my initial thought for challenge modes were having to fight through all of this and then just like, oh my gosh, having to finish in that short amount of time. But once you learn what you can run through, what you can skip and stuff like that, it's kind of nice. And again, that's all composition, and I'm sure what you can skip and what you can fight and stuff like that, and what you can or what you would want to pull would potentially change based on what your composition is. But I don't know, because again, this is the only challenge modes I've done in WOD. If I do any other challenge modes on any of my other classes, that would be interesting to find out. But we're going to force the death here and just let it all go. And then we're going to get that resin, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I'd be curious to see what other compositions would run and do here in this particular case. Would they follow the same strategy? Would they not? All those things, I don't know. I would be very, very curious to find out. So then we got the DK up. He's going to battle res the druid, and now we're going to get reses going out to everybody. Still sitting nice at 9 minutes to go for these last few bosses. Feeling really good about this one. Feeling good, and again, I wasn't overall too concerned with this one. I was very confident going into this, just knowing how simple it was to solo, just on the 5-man and even heroic 5-man version. So I couldn't imagine this would be too difficult, especially with people who kind of know what they're doing. One thing to say about challenge modes is don't forget your food buffs. You don't need speed potions or invisibility potions, at least the way we were doing them. But definitely don't forget your flasks, your potions, and your food buffs. And again, if you don't have a class with heroism, don't forget those drums. It's essential. You're not gonna really have too much success, I don't feel, without them. So going in for this boss, the only thing that was really worth noting about this one was, of course, watching out for his clawing attack there. Don't stand in front of that, especially because I'm not the tank. That would just be silly. And then when he pulls the adds and mobs from the cages, making sure that I don't pull or aggro them. So not too worried about the wolves. It was the flying reavers that we were kind of concerned about. So popped my defenses here because I had some wolves on me, and we're just going to town with the AoE damage still. Tank went down, which was unfortunate, but we're going to get him back up because, hey, battle res. I don't remember the exact name of the mobs. That's obviously something you want to watch out for. I believe that's a targeted ability, though, so he's just going to pin the tank down, and it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. As long as it doesn't target me, I'm not too worried about it. I don't remember why I popped Rally and Cry. Sometimes I feel like I must protect my team. I must contribute. So my thought was, I must help the team out. Because again, even though I was being carried for these, I wanted to contribute as much as I could. This particular mob over here, those reavers, whatever they're called, yeah, but they were like, yeah, don't pull those, don't attack those. So let them be, let them do its thing, and we just kind of didn't have to worry about it. Didn't want to make it any more complicated than it needs to be. I feel like challenge modes, just my overall impression from doing them, especially straight through like this, is that they're only as hard as you make them. And obviously there's a level of challenge, and there's a cap and there's a bar that's being set for them. Obviously they're supposed to be difficult. But I could definitely see how once you kind of get a feel for how they're running, you can actually do them pretty simply. And there's no need to overcomplicate them, which is kind of nice. So going through this now, I could definitely see myself going through with my other tunes, especially the ones that are really important to me, and trying to complete these as well, which is kind of cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing that. Probably won't make videos about them, because I mean, I don't know. I feel like one set of challenge modes is enough. But we're running in, popping haste buff right off the bat. Heroism's going. Damage is going, not holding back, just dropping them down as quick as we can so that we don't have to do any of those run backs. We do get caught in one toward the end of the boss fight, but again, if we only have to get caught in one, there's nothing wrong with that. But having to do 2 or 3 of them would definitely be a problem. It's only been a couple seconds here. The bosses are down to 30%, getting close down to 20% here. And we're going to get them so close. We almost one-shot them, which is kind of cool. I was pretty impressed with that. Just trying to rake in that cleave damage. There's the smash, 4%. We go flying back. Almost went to that back box, but I realized I have heroic leap up, so I didn't really need to. So I'm just ditching it over and getting to that second box. And the hunter's going in. What's his face is spinning around, just going crazy. Something to keep in mind, if these 2 ads are still alive, you actually have to kill them before the boss is finished. They are technically part of the boss encounter, so even though we've dropped the big dude, we have to still kill this guy. And he's doing a lot of damage with his blade storm there, which is unpleasant. Very, very unpleasant. So he's still got 6 minutes to go. Not too bad of a run, if I do say so myself. Got no charge, so I'm really kind of not able to get in there, and I really don't want to stand in that either, so there's that. But something to keep in mind for your Iron Docks run is make sure you do kill all those guys there at the end, or else it will not count for your boss fight. But that was our Iron Docks run. Very straightforward, I thought. Pretty simple. Taking advantage of deaths and haste rebuffs, all that good stuff. But that's going to do it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.